Day 47 of isolation. Animal Crossing New Horizons is all I have left. I've begun digging holes in the island to pass time. I've spent much of my time here catching bugs and fish, and talking with the local inhabitants to strike up a peace treaty, to no avail. My diet consists mostly of fruits now. At first, I only had oranges, but I have traveled to other nearby islands and expanded my own selection. My hopes of escaping are few and far between. My sanity is hanging by a thread. All hope may very well be lost. Okay, that might be laying it on a little thick, but that's kind of the idea, isn't it? So for today's video, I thought it might be nice to change things up a little bit. With the zombie apocalypse going on outside, I figure it might be good for some positivity. So instead of a full-fledged review where I tell you if this new Animal Crossing is good or bad, I figure instead it might be nice to just talk about my experience a little bit and tour my little underdeveloped island. So first things first, I'm new to Animal Crossing. I spent like maybe 5 minutes with New Leaf on 3DS and then I moved on. I don't know, the series never really appealed to me, so I never stuck with it. The only reason I gave this one a shot was because I heard good things about it. Plus, I can't exactly leave the house right now or do my actual, career or anything, so, if anybody asks me if I have a job, I can proudly say yes now. Now, if only I could transfer the money I earned in-game into my real-life bank account. Animal Crossing New Horizons is centered all around you. You are in charge of naming, caring for, and customizing your own island. You decide literally everything. Where the residents live, the layout of the land, banners, when to celebrate, who gets to live on your island. Literally everything. It actually felt a little overwhelming the first day for me, but it was also a short play session as I reached my objectives for the day without an issue. I got my Nook phone, which is a super cool tool that helps you do everything you're going to do on your island. It includes Nook Miles, which are a reward system put in place for basically playing the game every day, but that was the least of my worries. Things started out slow with my island, but after I figured everything out, it started moving along. The first thing I noticed was how meticulous everything is on the island. The developers want you loyally playing this game. The most basic things you can do on the island are fish and catch bugs, and you log them into an app in your phone called Critterpedia. Here you find out that certain bugs and fish only come out at certain times of the day on certain months of the year. They may even only appear in a specific hemisphere as well. I have no idea, so if you want to complete your catalog, then be prepared to spend time here every day. Another thing you need to do every day is talk to your fellow island residents. The game pushes you to build a community, so that's what I did. I have some cool critters on my island, which I named Kronkville, by the way. Why? Because it's all coming together. That's why. Anyway, my favorite villager is probably Flip. He's such a happy guy and he loves exercising, but I also have a bunch of other nice villagers. Some are a little weird too, but hey, I guess that's the magic. The only people who grind my gears are the Nooks, especially this big bastard. This is the greatest island in the history of great islands. There is no island as good as Kronkville. The Kronkvillian people are the smartest, most hardworking. Okay, pay up, you little bitch. Timmy and Tommy are cute though. I just wish they would stop following me around the frickin' store. This game would also introduce me to my newest passion. Fashion. After a bit, you should unlock the Designer Pro app, which allows you to make your own custom designs for pretty much anything. Walls, floors, ground, even shirts and hats. It's pretty cool, and I ended up making little different designs. I made a Steven Universe hoodie, may the show rest in peace, and a Mario sweatshirt. Overall, I think this feature is pretty darn neat. Animal Crossing New Horizons also has a museum, which is frickin' huge. Honestly, I'd love to fill this puppy up at some point. We'll just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, guys, that's about it for now. The main reason I can't really show you more is that I haven't done more. These types of games aren't really something I can sink my teeth into. It's not a reflection of the game, it's just one of those things where I play the game for a good half an hour, make my rounds with the townsfolk, do some odd jobs, make some money quick, and then move on to binging Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Hulu. It's a matter of taste. I'll have eventually done everything in this game, but with the way I play, it's going to take a long time. Maybe I'll make an update video when that happens, but other than that, there really isn't much more I can say or do here. Unless you want to hit up the Olympics. That's right, people, unless you couldn't tell from the title of the video and the thumbnail. This right here is a double feature. Now, why would I put these two games of, like, any combination together? Because I don't know. Meh. Honestly, I didn't want this video to be too somber. Plus, I don't have too much in depth to say about either. One is a happy, sappy island getaway, and the other is a glorified minigame collection. Plus, with all the times I bring Sonic up in my videos, it's about time I cover an actual Sonic game, even if it co-stars Mario. So, without further ado, let's talk about Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games! Obnoxious title screen aside, this isn't the first time these platforming giants have met up in this setting. Actually, this is the 6th title in the series. Talk about milking it for what it's worth. Anyway, the Mario and Sonic games are typically comprised of Sonic and Mario alongside their supporting casts from their respective series facing off in different minigames based off of Olympic events, and themes featured in whichever Olympics are paired with each game. For this entry, everything is themed around Tokyo. There are a decent amount of events featured in the game as well. You have your standard events like the 100-meter dash, hurdles, shooting, and swimming, but you also have events exclusive to this game like skateboarding and karate. There are also dream events that put you in larger-than-life settings from memorable games in Sonic and Mario's respective series, like Dream Skateboarding in Metropolis from Sonic Forces. There aren't a lot of these though. However, we also have 2D events. I personally think these are really cool. The roster of characters is smaller because only so many have 8 and 16-bit sprites, but it's really neat to see a different take on these events that Sega has done repeatedly for years. And it all comes together into the weirdest thing a party game such as this could ever have. The story mode. Yeah, they went there with this one, and to be fair, it gives someone like me an incentive to actually play the game by myself and actually try every event. And the story isn't bad. Basically, everyone is competing in the Olympics, even Dr. Eggman and Bowser, who decide that instead of playing fair, they should get rid of Mario and Sonic by trapping them in a video game forever. But things don't go according to plan, and all four get stuck, with their friends racing against the clock to set them free before the game's batteries run out of juice. The story is very meta, but it's a great way of explaining the retro events in-universe. Unfortunately though, the dialogue can be a bit lifeless. To be fair, Mario's characters don't exactly have much going on in the personality department to begin with, unless you're counting spin-offs, but here it seems like every conversation is just a means to an end to get you from one event to the next. This carries over with the Sonic characters too, and it doesn't help that a majority of the story is told through text blocks with only grunts and simple emotes being used to communicate the various characters' feelings. On the retro end it makes more sense, but here it actually seems to have more charm. I don't know, something about the way everything animates is just hilarious to me, especially when Eggman makes his panicky face. But it's still not as good as having more colorful dialogue. It's disappointing because at the start and end we're treated to a full-blown cutscene and it looks really good. Actually, everything looks really good in this game, from the main menu and the UI to the graphics themselves. And if you look back on the original Mario and Sonic, you'll get to see how far the series has really come, in more ways than one. The first game came out for the Wii, and if you guys remember, back then it was all about motion controls. But times have changed, and now you can actually choose a control scheme that works for you. I usually go with the buttons because this just makes me feel ridiculous. The only trade-off is that it makes certain levels a little more complicated to play. Like some of them leave you focusing on having to memorize 4 different buttons or button combinations that all have you doing different things in order to properly complete a minigame. Of course, you also have to get the timing right on top of that if you want to get a good score. All in all, it's not too bad, and the option to choose how you want to play each game is still nice. Considering that this is again a party game, I would still say that this isn't too bad if you want to experience Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Yeah, I refuse to say the full title. By yourself. But of course, this is something that is always better with friends, and I also really liked being able to play this in handheld mode. Something about it, man, it just takes me back to playing the original on my DS. Speaking of how far we've come in the past 12 years, look at this glow up. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is worth $60, but it's not a bad time at all. It has a decent story, albeit with poor presentation, and it ain't a bad way to preoccupy your time, especially right now. But before I go, since I'm pretty sure anybody currently watching is ready to maul me, I hope nobody watching this video thinks that this is in any way a comparison between the two games. To be honest, they're literally too different to compare. I just thought it'd be cool to get a little experimental and mix things up a little bit. And on top of that, I'm enjoying both games right now for a variety of different reasons. Animal Crossing because I love my neighbors and I want to learn more about the game as it goes on. It's so relaxing too, and a great way to reduce stress in short bursts. And Sonic and Mario for that sweet dream skateboarding event. It's like a crappier Mario Kart. So, you know, please don't murder me. Oh, shit, well, it appears you already have.